Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eleanor and this is just going to be a short video talking about all the books I want to read before the end of the year. I missed the boat completely for the end of the year book tag. A lot of people filmed it in September and October. It's now the very end of November. There's no point doing that tag, it just doesn't really fit or make sense. But I have a couple of things that I wanted to get to before the end of the year. The latter half of 2021 got completely derailed for me, but I'm just really glad that I still reached my reading goal of 52 books, which is what I set every year, and I managed to reach that well before I felt unwell. It's a bit of a shame because with the trajectory of how many books I was reading, and at the rate of reading them, I could have possibly have read 100 books this year if the disaster that happened the latter half of the year didn't occur. But moving on. My biggest priority is finishing The Day Watch by Sergei Lukyanenko, which I started reading, got to page 180, put down, and I have not touched it since I put it down probably 3 or 4 months ago. So I want to finish this just because if I leave it any longer, I feel like I will have to start from the beginning again, and that's 180 pages I don't want to have to reread. Yeah, so this is my priority, to finish this. I don't want to, apart from like a current read that I start the week before the end of the new year, I don't want to be carrying over books that I've not finished, especially from months ago. And then I don't want to set myself up to fail, so I would like to achieve reading these books by the end of the year, but no pressure, because I don't want to put myself back into a reading slump because I'm still not completely back to full health, so I want to kind of pace myself. But once finishing The Day Watch, I want to read The Twilight Watch, which is the third book in the Night Watch series. I think it would behoove me to kind of read them with a sense of familiarity between the books because they're translated urban fantasy series and they're translated from Russian. So I think it would make more sense to kind of read them together so that I'm not getting confused between books, just because it's a very different world. So I'd like to get to this as well. And again, if you've been around my channel a while, you know that I hate large sized paperbacks. They just make no sense to me. Like, why is this a thing? Why? I hate it because the text isn't even any larger. It's just more blank space. Really hate them. They're the size of a hardback. I say this every single time I come across one, but that's what you get for buying books secondhand. The next book is a priority, and I know as soon as it comes in the post I will read it immediately just because I'm so excited, and it is the sequel to The Marionettes by Katie Wismer, and it's called Wicked Souls. It's out on the 7th of December. I've pre-ordered it, and as soon as that arrives, I'm starting to read it. I'm just so excited by this series. It is a new adult supernatural romance, and I love me a supernatural romance. I love the way Katie has written the vampires and the magic system, and the world is just very creative and intriguing. I'm enjoying the characters, and it's self-published, and I love supporting self-published authors who also have a platform here on YouTube. I just think it's a really nice thing to do. So as soon as that second book comes out, I'm reading it straight away, so at least there's one book I know that I'll read promptly. The last two books I want to get to are short story collections, and I feel like both of these will be good for me to pick up, just because my attention span has not been there lately, so reading short stories might be quite good, and if they're slightly different, it maybe hold my attention more and get me back into the flow of reading, because a lot of my books on my TBR I'm intimidated by because they are so large, and I've just not been able to motivate myself to pick up any of them, even though I'm really excited by them all. A lot of them, if not most of them, are starting books to a series, and I've just not wanted to start a new series right now. I've been looking for standalones or short story collections, so that's what I'm going to allow myself to focus on, because you know, I'm a mood reader and hopefully this will help me. The first short story collection is Things We Say in the Dark by Kirsty Logan. I picked this up secondhand and I'm excited to get to it because Kirsty Logan is a Scottish author, and I believe she also lives in Glasgow, which is where I live and where I'm from, if you didn't know that. and I'm excited to read a book by another Scottish person. I love it, and I'm excited. I believe these are horror stories. I was planning on picking this up in October. Never got around to it. It sat on my bedside table for at least the last 5 weeks, and I have not even read one page. Looking at the contents page, all the stories are very, very short, so even if I just make myself read 1 or 2 a day, I could get through this. And the last book I want to get to before the turn of the year into 2022, which I'm hoping will be a better year for me, certainly, and the rest of the world, and it is The Ladies of Grace the Dew by Susanna Clarke. I absolutely loved Piranesi, if you can see it there in the shot. It was my favourite book of 2020. I am interested in picking up Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, but that is a humongous book, and I'm certainly nowhere near in the right mood to be picking that up. But this is a short story collection, and I believe it's about myths and fairy tales and heroines and heroes and magic. And I'm not quite sure if there's a particular twist on these short stories or if it's just Susanna Clarke's own interpretation of them, but I think this will be a really great one to pick up, and I want to get this as well. So yes, sorry it's been a while since I've done a video, but I really am trying my best, and I'm not wanting to put too much pressure on myself to film and upload every week. It's just not attainable right now, so I'm just going to film and upload whenever I can and not put that pressure on myself, and hopefully you'll see me more coming the end of this year, even though this is the time of year where it's so busy. But come January, I'm hoping I will be right back to my normal self and we'll get back into the swing of things. Let me know if any of these books are ones you've read before and what you think of them and which book I should maybe focus on. And I really hope you've been having a better reading year this second half of 2021 than I have. I also want to say a quick thank you to all the new subscribers. It surprised me that my channel has still continued to grow, even while I've been quite inactive as of late. Makes me really excited and really happy about this channel. And yeah, I just want to say a warm welcome to you all. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, which hopefully won't be as long a wait as the last one.